Okay. So I'll turn it over back to Suzanne.
Thanks, Jan. So again, want to leave a few minutes for questions if you've got, and plus also please feel free to talk to Dan or me in breaks or over lunch. You know, we're happy to keep talking about this. So to pull it all together, you know, we've got these really important considerations. You know, is it a market-based orderly transaction? We were price discovery for identical assets. Is the quality of the exchange and the market, the information in it taken into account? Is principal market allowed to vary by reporting entity as is actually a principle in ASC 820, and over time as the volume and activity level changes. You can have various definitions of access. You know, is your auditor saying access to the market is defined by truly only those you can legally access? We can customize the algorithm to only run across those particular exchanges that your auditor would like them to run over. Are only observable inputs used at this point? For the level 1 sort of actively traded crypto assets, that's all we're using. So you can really see observable inputs. Our system is very transparent. It's not a black box. That's where the X's are at the bottom. The time of day can be set however the customer would like it to be set. Again, we encourage that they have well-documented policies around that. Is it a model? It's not a model. We're actually using observable inputs. As Dan really laid out, we go find this principal market based on sort of the principles of ASC 820 and IFRS 13. And then we grab a literal exit price, a literal executed trade at the time of day that you would like to have fair value run. And so it is not a model. It is literally all those sort of prescriptions and suggestions around coming up with the principal market. So let me pause. We've got 2 minutes for questions. So feel free to yell one out. And I imagine probably most of your questions would be for Dan, who's in the data all day long. So I'm going to hand him the microphone.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I'm pretty loud. I probably don't need my phone, but I was curious right now, what is your experience? What are issuers using now for fair market value for their assessment of impairment if they're not using this very sophisticated model that you're presenting?
It sounds like an accounting question. So it is a mixture. We hear that people are doing VWAPs or doing averages or going to some of the websites that allow that, and auditors are getting more and more, you know, discouraging that more and more. There is this approach that we run into where they are picking where they normally trade without thinking about, hey, is the volume somewhere else? Because remember, ASC 820 is all about the exit price. The principal market should be where the volume is. So it's where they normally trade, comes up a lot. But the other thing is that we are having more and more folks, especially now that fair value is at the top of mind for a lot of us, coming to us and saying, can you help us do this? You know, so especially as you go farther down and farther down the list of crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, everybody recognizes and knows that, you know, as Dan showed, it's often Coinbase Pro or FTX that are the two markets where most of the volume and activity is. So as you go farther down, you really need something that can scan the horizon and help see where the volume is shifting to, because that's where it can be a very dynamic situation. I don't know if you're going to add anything to that.
No, I think, you know, Suzanne, I think you hit it right on the head, and I think we're right at about time, but it's yeah, it is important to kind of understand, you know, at any point in time where the price formation is occurring.
We're done, Michael, unless Skype, because I want to keep things on time for you. So yeah, thank you, everyone.